Hello, everyone. Welcome to this first week of June. So, I've got a bit of flu after I returned from America, so I didn't bother to put on any makeup because my eye is teary. And I mean, this is life, this is real. And that's actually the message of this week as well is what is real. Do you allow yourself to be real with what is? Do you suppress? Do you run away? Do you want to hide? Or do you show up? And so I was guided by Archangel Michael to draw a card from my Wolf Wisdom card deck, which you can order. And the card I drew was from Odin, Ask. And so the message for this week is, do you ask? So there's many levels to this. Do you ask spirit for support? Do you ask other people for support? Do you ask for help? Do you know what kind of help you need? Do you know what you want? Do you actually ask yourself what it is that you want? What is it that you are afraid of, that you need to release? What is it that makes you anxious, that makes you sick? Do you focus on your most basic needs and ask and surrender? And there's many questions we need to ask ourselves right now as the world is in so much turmoil. So many people going through distress and difficult times. And somehow that has always been, but it peaks at some times where it just feels so overwhelming. And as if the negativity and the wars and everything that's happening in the world is just so in your face. And of course, then there's all these energetic things and solar sparks and shit happening that makes us experience life in the extreme. And this is where we need to balance, and this is where we need to ask ourselves, am I just allowing myself to go on this roller coaster of thought and fear? Or am I actually allowing myself to integrate all the beauty that I also experience? And how do I integrate it to become a new whole? Remember, we always need to die to be reborn. Before we can realize who we want to be and how we want to put ourselves together again, we need to fall apart. And it's not a nice process, and it's not a clean process. There's a wolf knocking, so let me just let him in. So we need to ask ourselves, what is my basic needs? Hello, Kai. Where do I come from and where do I need to go? I felt this myself lately. This guy, he wants to lie here. After I came back from the Redwoods, it's very difficult to be back in this space. Hello, Kai. He's a shy one. It's very difficult to be back in this space where I just left all my problems and everything. Of course, my health went with, but there's a realization that, life is fragile, life is different in other spaces, and life can be created in very different ways, although we feel stuck in our situation or our financial situation, our health situation. And these are things that we need to ask ourselves. Do I teach myself that this is the only possible reality? Do I allow myself to go down that rabbit hole of being unsure all the time, not trusting, not feeling whole? And this is the real questions that we have to ask ourselves, is what do I base my perception of reality on? Because it can easily switch from trust and recognition to one of fear and abandonment and feeling very alone. But I always find the gratitude underneath, and I always remind myself to not be a brat, to really enjoy what I have, to be grateful, and to do what I can with what I have. And if all else fails to get me out of that rabbit hole, I ask Spirit, please show me what I need to see. Please show me what I haven't been seeing, or what I need to ask, what I haven't been asking that got me into this situation in the first place. Help me to realize on a deep, deep level the wisdom of my soul and my soul's intent to be at life at this stage. I hope that helps, and I hope it makes you think as well as to where you need to be within your mindset at this stage. And Archangel Raziel is just whispering to me, be in touch with nature. Listen to the messages. You would have seen through my photos of the US how the squirrel showed up for me. I only realized it really yesterday when I was looking through all the photos again, how many times the squirrel showed up, and it was like, wow, okay, there's really a message for me from the squirrel and from nature through the squirrel. And although I received messages from the trees, and remember how the fox followed me, it wasn't a real fox, but the fox symbolism was there all the time, just like in Ireland, and I didn't expect it in the USA. So, there's these things that keep showing us, that show us that, Spirit's whispering to us. Spirit wants to get through to us, but we need to be aware, and we need to take responsibility to receive that connection or that message. And like I say, if all else fails, ask Spirit, what is this about? Show me more clearly. Give me guidance in this. So look at what nature is symbolizing to you, even in the weather, even in winter time or summertime, or drought or rain, or whatever's happening around you is affecting what's happening in here. And whatever's happening in here is affecting what's happening outside of you. So just become conscious and ask to be shown. Consciousness doesn't depend on you. It doesn't depend on what you do. Of course, there's certain actions we need to take to become purer, to be more receptible. But in the end, it's just about being present and asking to make that connection that you're willing to see and that you're willing to be shown. So they show me the color for the week is not really fixed. There's green coming through for new growth. There's purple coming through for spiritual inspiration and wisdom. And then also I see a pure white. And then as I see my reflection, and I see my wolf that I bought for myself in the USA, is remember your totem. Look at which totem is always there for you. And of course, totems come and go as well, and messages from the animals and from nature change day by day, but which one is always a constant as well. And allow it to flow into your veins, that which they teach you in their way of being. And commit to that for yourself and for the world. I'm sending you all lots of love. It's great to be back in South Africa, back to normal weather. I'm so happy winter is arriving. And I'll see you next week from the same space. Lots of love from me. Bye, guys.